Hold on for a minute. It's gone live already. Hi, Monica, are you there? No? Need to tell Monica we're live.
Sorry, Sunny.
That's
Hi,
all right.
Abhishek. Hi, Sunny.
Hi, Monica. How are you?
Very well.
So, Umesh is not yet joined. Okay, we'll wait for him in any case. See कब join करता है. Monica, आप ऑफिस में हो?
G. That's why I told Reggie, I asked Reggie कि कब तक है because Hyderabad is curfew from 5.
हाँ. Bangalore's curfew from 7.
I know you guys are lucky, but you're not officially supposed to be working. You're not industrial. There's a gray area in interpretation in Bangalore.
Very true. So,
We are
but
supposed.
we carry ID cards.
We all have become essential. We all have essential ID card now.
Yeah. Or otherwise, we have to make, office only as a home. Boss, I am at home, not at office.
Okay, since we are live and it's going live, so let's not have a casual conversation. I know we all know each other very well. So just this session was primarily from the perspective of getting entrepreneurs from different cities and understanding with the COVID situation. The first one was definitely something none of us expected. The second wave was even bigger disaster, and wanted to understand, Monica, that you with Hyderabad and Mumbai, you have presence in Bangalore as well. How's it been for you? What have been the clients? What have they been saying? How have you tackled the second wave? The first wave was, it was not called for at all. But what has been with the second wave?
Uh, I'm very honestly, Sunny, most of our members and clients that are there right now have been extremely understanding during the second wave. They themselves were not prepared. What we've realized is that majority of the clients didn't have a knee-jerk reaction like it happened last year. And since majority of our clients have also carried on from last year, they know how we supported them, what we did. So there were conversations. And whatever had to be restructured was done. But it was a smoother conversation. People are a little more prepared to know, okay, this is the past precedence. This is a conversation we can do. This is realistic. This is unrealistic. Um, so I think there was better learning this year.
How's it been for you, Abhishek? Last 2 years that OVA has been operational, and it was a big move for you as well. That you came out of different entrepreneurship careers that you had started, and this was a big step. And something like COVID in initial years of setting up a new baby. How was the second wave reaction for you?
So, to start with, I vouch with what Monica said. I think when the last year lockdown happens, I think both the parties was not aware how to deal with each other. There was too much of friction and all this. Not with all the clients, but yes, overall in the market. As we heard from the outside also. But I think for the this year lockdown, the clients was more understanding because we know each other. Now that we know that how to handle the situation. So this time it is going more smoother than the last year one. you know but we learned quickly. Our clients also learned very quickly that the problems we are facing and the way we are trying to help them. Today clients also appreciate the efforts taken by us on the social distancing, sanitization of the space. So this year it is more, the relationship is more cordial.
Monica, with different cities, do you see a different requirement from clients' perspective on how they'd like their spaces to be managed, or something like Mumbai or Hyderabad? Do you see a different kind of a client requirement from managed spaces, or due to COVID, how they'd like their spaces to be organized?
Uh, so there are, I would address it in two ways, Sunny. So there are specific use cases that have come up because of the pandemic. And these use cases typically are people are sitting on very large inventory. Their lock-in is over. now it makes sense that they take a very small inventory with flex spaces. Their machines, laptops, equipment is all up and running, and the team is still sitting remotely. So we've had such cases where people have downsized, taken spaces with us, so that they're still saving on costs while their infra is up and running. Uh, Strangely, there have been a lot of requirements for storage spaces also. So people, for the temps requirement, that they have shut down their offices. They want to put their space belongings just in storage, not even have their equipment up and running. So from
Oh,
use cases, these are very atypical to the pandemic. Uh, the other requirement that we witnessed, which is again space take up, is um, they don't necessarily know how many people are going to come to work right now. So they have taken up lesser space, taken of course, a more flexible lock-in, so that they're ready to expand sooner and take larger spaces when they know when the teams are coming back. So this is in terms of changes for demand, and each city has been showing similar requirements across. From perspective of handling, how do we handle the managed spaces? Um, what we realized, and this is also majority of our model has been that even though we've had smaller centers of co-working spaces, majority has been private units. More and more people want to use private units, even if it is for small teams, and they're a little more skeptical about sitting in more open areas, especially when you don't know the person next to you. Uh, Usage perspective, of course, all your community areas now are being used lesser and lesser. So from your game areas, pantries, also there is social distancing. Event spaces are dead. So that is, of course, something that has happened. People, of course, like Abhishek said, appreciate that we're spending that much time and effort to ensure that spaces are sanitized, your touch points are sanitized, the basic infra is in place. Um, I haven't seen, however, a lot of difference in terms of expectation of how these spaces will be managed from one city to another. Maybe, I don't know, Sunny, if you've had such questions, requests.
I'll come back to that. Abhishek, how's your experience, with the managed spaces, the client's demand? I don't think so, you've had any demands where clients want to stock up their material. I think it was there in the first COVID where it was one of our clients who wanted to stock something with you. But that's a very good point. That's something that's an eye opener. So, what's the experience been with you?
Now with us, as we deal for a little longer lock-ins and little larger many enterprises clients, so we were not having those challenges because still these companies are running. So we either had certain startups who was there with us who was doing good, but unfortunately due to I think their funding stage and all, they had the setback during this pandemic. So apart from those clients, we were not having setback with respect to the clients. It was more on discounts and waivers, those things. uh, at present, now what we are looking at or experiencing since last 1 month, that there are inquiries, related to like this server space. So, they wanted to put up their server space and they want to reduce the number of people, and they are looking at for a lock-in of not no less than 12 months. So these type of inquiries are floating, but those inquiries are floating not in micro markets at in Bangalore like at HSR or Kormangla. It is mostly towards the outer ring road, wherein the server still plays a bigger role. The clients at the HSR and Kormangla micro market, for them the server is not basically any bone for them in the market, in the business. But we are
So,
getting those clients.
from a perspective of managed spaces, like, what are the clients expecting now? What do you think are the clients' expectations, and from the perspective that how different it is, from first COVID era to a second COVID era now? What's the yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
please.
So what's the difference that you've seen in that? From the first COVID era to second, or how do you think it will change the whole managed spaces as a community? Whether it's going to be individual units that they're taking, or whether they're taking the whole floor. What do you see perceive? Because now at least two COVIDs that has taught us that we need to be better prepared for the market, or we need to, like I was just reading a couple of days back that earlier we had malls for shopping spaces. Now probably we'll have malls for hospitals. where it'll be like a shopping mall of hospital where people have different diagnostics, different things. That probably might be the future. So when it comes to office spaces and managed spaces, what do you think is going to be the future?
So if I have to see from the future point of view, I will be, more, optimistic. See, we will understand that why. See, this pandemic is more than the pandemic is a fear in our mind. So this fear one day will go out. May it takes 3 months, 6 months, but one day will come when this fear will go slowly, out from our mind. So we need to understand that what will, how we'll redefine the office space. What type of office space requirements will be there. Now, not going much detail into the, industries wise or at which stage the company is, because that office space needs changes. But if I'm talking about my enterprises clients, typically earlier people used to not or regret about the office space, because of their commute and strict corporate schedules, that you have to follow this, you have to come at 10, you have to go at 6, those strict one. And then obviously now when people are at home, they have started complaining about office attire. First let me do the work. you know that today the situation is that where and how I am working is not important. I am working or I am meeting my objective is the important. Now what will redefine for the office space after these three, which was the demerits why people don't want to come. But if we see some of the merits was happening at the office space, was at the office space as a manager, I can see all my 10, 20, people, and I give the same amount of attention to all of them. So basically what we used to do is that there is the ability to nurture a talent, nurture your people. Today when you are sitting outside, you are not able to see all the 21 sort. So sometimes we say, or it has been proven when I speak to my all the clients and the prospective clients, that they say a bond which was strong is becoming more stronger. you know the new guys who is joining, that bonding is not coming because you have not seen face to face. Today the relationship or those meetings are mostly transactional. I feel that what client is also looking at, with some of my clients with whom we are in touch, or existing clients, they say that let's change little bit in the office space, meaning by I want to bring the people here for more of the collaboration, not for their day to day stereotype work which is still happening at the home. So I call them, for collaboration, among the team, so that we discuss something very new or new innovation. So little bit to change. I feel more informal areas which people are asking now, the clients,
So you
because I
believe more informal areas will be probably the going forward.
true. So because they say formally you work at home, informally come to the office. And here it
Monica,
has to be more open space.
Monica, do you see a similar trend in with your IKEVA clients, or there is something that you probably perceive with the global markets, or anyone that's headway with these managed spaces? Is there going to be a different turn?
So, Sunny, there are, just to start with, there's something that Abhishek said, which is very real and true, that while there is productivity and efficiency that happens from anywhere, the two things which are very inherent to developing and building a company, one is loyalty and one is culture. And those become very hard when you're not connected will people come back to offices? Absolutely. In what percentage? We are all speculating, but the higher the better for all of us. There will be hybrid offices, of course. Uh, the whole concept of, like Abhishek said, it's not necessary that the entire workforce has to come to office is very real, which would mean you will need a lot of collaboration areas absolutely in your design. So even in the last few months, we've actually the larger enterprise teams that we've onboarded or are in the process of signing, the designs that are being made in terms of the offices, there is a focus on collaboration areas, meeting rooms, conference rooms, and different kinds to the extent that how do we actually sometimes imbibe the feeling of working from home actually at office. So there are conversations now, can we make them more feel more at home while there is collaboration and productivity. Uh, So from a design perspective, collaboration spaces become very important, but these will be private collaboration spaces. What I see is people would still want to use a more of their own collaboration spaces till the time the fear of pandemic doesn't go away from people's minds. That's when they'll be more open to more
To
social
continue on your
collaboration.
thought process, Monica, there was a client that I was interacting very recently with, and he wanted his private space, but so he wants something like a mixture of a co-living and a co-working, where he has his own managed spaces, plus, few of his staff or his colleagues, they have space to stay. So if there is another third wave, he says for the next 1 year, I'm protected. Do you guys hear of similar things where a co-living and a kind of a co-working or a managed space model will eventually merge? Because for the longest of time when co-living had started, it was always said that they both will be two parts of the coin. Do you guys see that merging now?
It can merge in some time, Sunny. It depends on one, the kind of building, second, building permissions, and third is the feasibility. When you start actually converting commercial buildings to co-living spaces, there is this whole aspect of how the building has been designed to even absorb a co-living space. So hopefully, one way forward for the real estate industry is once this demand actually arrives, that there are buildings that are designed to hold both aspects of the coin. Uh, I have had conversations where people have talked about currently taking in spaces like bungalows and guest houses and converting more them into partial offices and homes with the same logic. And hopefully you have the same space. I mean, the best thing you can do in a city like Bangalore, Bombay, Hyderabad is avoid commute. So as many people are staying in the same building.
But I always thought, will it be sustainable, Abhishek? Would you think will it be a sustainable model for a long term where people actually want to be living in the same space and working? We've actually kind of adopted to that model for few of our colleagues, critical staff, critical people in our teams. But do you think it's going to be a long term and sustainable model, which where both of them merge and form a kind of a model which goes for about a couple of years?
So to start with, see, even if this model, if any company is doing, they are doing for those who are isolated in the city, who is away from the family. So you cannot put one family member out in the office, to do your work even during the lockdown. So this is only possible when you have this one. So that means half or almost the people, 50-60% of the people will not fall under this bracket. And obviously there is a difference between home and office. So long term it will not be sustainable. Yes, what will be sustainable, which we have seen in the market in the bigger cities, to avoid the commute, that the real estate wherein the commercial office space, retail office, retail space and the residential was like part of one development. Those models was there, which was gaining the pace, that will, I think, flourish more. But this one, it is like keeping someone, isolated, from the family.
So
And second
the
thing,
thought
most,
process is because something like a Bangalore has more of a bachelor kind of a crowd. I think there in these cities it would probably work and would probably do well. Just last question, before we go ahead. Uh, One of my mentors said very beautifully that in 3 years that probably this COVID will last, and we see this entire 3 years. It's what you do differently during these 3 years and how you innovate within your businesses, and how much you scale is what will actually define the true value of that company. So I'm sure you both are doing that, but within the within the client sets that you have, any client without naming them that you feel have really innovated and they've really done well in COVID and they've actually been something spellbound and they've actually delivered out of their box, and you'd like to share that.
Sunny, I've seen a lot of clients pivot during the pandemic and their growth has been faster. And it also depends on the nature of business. So there is a very large client of ours who's into the HRMS solution, who's pitted to be hopefully the next big unicorn. While HRMS as a solution was being looked at SMEs, so they target the SME market. While SMEs were considering it seriously, the uptake that has happened and the acceptance that you need to go digital when it comes to human resource management is so much, and their product, their way, their designs have changed. Uh, and I've seen that they're not just ready. They've been ready for when pandemic happened. They're ready for the next future. Their growth is stupendous. They got funded another time during the pandemic, and I mean, they're not expanding in terms of real estate yet, but hopefully they'll do that soon too. Uh, the other one that I've seen or looked at is people. So there was one client of ours who was into uh, health and wellness, which was all online. But during this short period of pandemic, they actually pivoted to ensure they did a lot more teleconsultation from again health and wellness. So while we all talk about how do people get better physically, there's a lot of focus that you also need to put on in terms of how do you get better mentally. So their teleconsultations have also pivoted to ensure that they give better mental health care along with physical. And of course, the whole vaccination drive. I'm sure you might have heard of their name, but they're actually tying up with a lot of companies across India to ensure that the vaccination drives are smoother as a third party. So these are some of the examples I've seen companies innovating. So it also depends on what product you're in and how fast you can actually innovate there.
Thank you, Monica. Anything that you'd like to share, Abhishek?
Yeah. So, if I go on a industries agnostic, there are many industries who really gained out of, this like edutech, your gaming, these industries has really gained out of that. And I was also fortunate to have some of those clients. But as Monica said, that we are fortunate to have that client, but really real estate wise, they have not gone, but okay, we are keeping our finger crossed. So
I'm sure the real estate will come by.
we also hope so, and I think yes, there will be redefining the workspace will happen. The things will it will not be obviously as normal, but it will grow. Now if I see from the some companies idea wise that any new idea which has come out during this pandemic, so your home delivery. So one of the client who started, as we know now, the prickly, these clients who started during this one has started with us. So home delivery concept is more. Plus right now, there are NGOs, which model, who has really done good, and these all were the entrepreneur, like I am part of one of that, wherein we all assembled, quickly developed one tool just to see that the foods are getting delivered to one particular area, what is the availability of the vaccine, all those stuff. So but yes, those are very stop time gap one, to fulfill our society responsibility. But new ideas will grow. I think technology will see a huge a vertical change, because at present when we talk about this informal space, formal, we have, there are so many platforms which was available for the meeting and all. For informal, from the safety, data safety point of view, and how you monitor your team members work, I think there is a huge gap in the IT, which hopefully someone is working on, to plug that.
Well, thank you, both of you. It was good chatting up, though we keep chatting during the week, but thank you for this session. We'll hope to catch up soon again.
Thank you. Thanks, Sunny. Thanks,
Thanks,
Monica.
Sunny. Bye,
Thank
Abhishek.